Hey guys, welcome back to the another episode of the Remote Podcast. I'm your host Pushpak. For today's episode, we have with us Ankit Shukla. Ankit is a product manager at InterviewBit and Scalar Academy. He is also instructor at HelloPM. And HelloPM is a product manager bootcamp and a premium community of product managers. So thank you so much for joining us today, Ankit. I'm super excited to have you on the podcast.
Thanks for having me, Pushpak.
Amazing. So let us, get directly to the questions like how did you got into product management, and you have built multiple products as well before getting into product management. So how did all this started?
Yeah, okay. So my journey is like a very non-traditional journey. Like product management was not something that I aspired to do, or like it was not something that was on my checklist. And it was
Mm-hmm.
also not very popular when I was graduating, when I was completing my MBA. So I was an
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur. While in college, I have gone ahead and started one startup which was incubated in college. And
Yeah.
after like 2 years also, like within my career as well, like when I got ahead and done my MBA also, like after 2 years of that, I have also continued that particular kind of startups. And
Mm-hmm.
in like 2017 2018, I have chosen to go ahead and explore what bigger companies looks like, and maybe I should get some kind of experience. And at that period of time, I was having like, since I was like from an ICSE board, or maybe I was from a
Mm-hmm.
triple IT, so I know how to code things and all. So I was strong at technology. So the first thing that I wanted to do was definitely go ahead and maybe become a full stack developer or something. But
Mm-hmm.
because I have the experience of entrepreneur, I thought maybe I would not be doing justice with the kind of thing that I have been doing. So I just
Mm-hmm.
gone ahead, and there was a senior who co-founded this company known as Shiro. So I have talked to him, and they were needing exactly kind of the tasks, like they were needing the help with exactly the kind of thing that I have been doing. So I've gone ahead, I have joined Shiro's, which was like a social network but only for women. And I
Okay.
have joined the company when they were just raising a bit of money, and they have just acquired like a million users on the platform. So I have helped their company, like I have created systems, I have created the team, and I have joined them as a head of growth and made sure that the company has grown from around a million users to around a 5 million users. I've worked for that company for around
Awesome.
18 months.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the real phase when I have gone ahead and understood what exactly product management is, what it means about thinking from a user's angle, and how do you scale product, how do you go ahead and scale
Mm-hmm.
your own impact. So that was it. And after that, I joined this company, IND Money, did similar kind of things over there, just for a different kind of user set. And recently, I've been working with this company known as like Scalar Academy InterviewBit, which has like just like I think today or maybe a week ago, they have raised a new round, and they have been valued at $700 million
Oh, awesome. So you
as a
have like
technical
built
person.
multiple product sets. So like before getting into product management. So like, are you from a tech background?
Yes. I am from a tech background. So in my class, in my college days also, and in my school days also, I have been introduced to coding, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I have a good hand in technical understanding as
So why I ask is because like there's not a particular course out there to become a product manager, right? So a lot of people, I think, those who have technical background, they kind of want to get into product management, right? But what about people who are not coming from a tech background? Can they also go into product management? So is there any
well.
criteria
Right.
which you like? What is the criteria to become a product manager?
Yeah. So I'll give you a very simple mental model to think about with Pushpak. So what happens is that, so let us ask why technical people, they go ahead and they become product managers. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because what happens is that whatever skills you have as a technical guy or a developer, you can definitely use some of these skills as a product manager. Okay, you know how to work with data, you can think logically, you can
Yeah.
like think in some in terms of systems and engineering, and also since your main job is to go ahead and work with developers in your day-to-day job as a product manager, that also
Mm-hmm.
helps out because you have been a developer, so you can empathize with them. Okay, now
Yeah.
we can take the same principles and apply to any kind of job out there. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and right now product management is one of the good job offerings where no matters what kind of background you are coming from, no, doesn't matter like you are a marketer, you are a developer, you are a sales guy, you are from business development or any kind of thing, you can definitely go ahead, because no matter what you do, there would be around 20-25% of overlap with what a product manager does. So for
Okay.
example, if you are coming from
Mm-hmm.
marketing background, then you have to make sure that as a product manager, you also have to make sure that your product is doing well in the market. So you should be good at
Mm-hmm.
market research, which these people know. They know like how to do channel optimization, how to communicate about the product and all. If you are
Yeah.
coming from maybe a design background, then that is also going to be helpful for you. So no matter what kind of job that you are coming from, if you have
Mm-hmm.
problem solving skills, if you have collaboration skills, and if you know how to communicate well with your people, then definitely product management is something that you can try.
Right, right. So I wanted to get into the specific question about IND Money, right? Like you were leading the growth team over there, and you grew it from like 10K to 400K users in in 10 months. So how you did this, and how was your experience while doing this?
Yeah, so I'll tell you before I could get into the specifics of like how I have grown the product, I should first tell you what the product is. So the
Mm-hmm.
product is like a it's like a very beautiful product which helps solve a real problem, as in as an investor or as someone who has invested in multiple places or have their places as their money at multiple places. It's definitely a problem for you to go ahead and look at your real time net worth, as in what is your financial standing right now. Okay,
Okay.
so
Mm-hmm.
for example, you might have invested in mutual funds, you might have invested in direct equity, you might have an FD, you might have a home or something. So it was very difficult for you or people like you to go ahead and see what my net worth is today. And that is
Mm-hmm.
going to be like a very important factor in your financial life as a whole, because it is going to determine how your next steps are going to look like and what your financial stability is currently.
Yeah.
So that product was solving that problem. And I have given you the problem statement because no matter how good you are a marketer, how good performance marketer you are, how good as a product manager you are, if you do not understand the problem that you are looking at, if you do not understand the user who's facing that problem, then definitely you cannot create like a long-term growth strategy. So once we have understood this, then we have gone ahead and we have understood what is the kind of people who should be using this app, who could be our
Mm-hmm.
early adopters. Okay, so we
Right.
have gone and understood that we should find people who should have a net worth of at least more than 50 lakh rupees, like
Right.
who should have like a yearly income of more than 50 lakh rupees. They should have their
Mm-hmm.
money at least five, 7
Mm-hmm.
places. So
Mm-hmm.
these were like the main target customers or the early adopters of the product.
Right.
So we
Right.
have gone ahead, made sure that we are acquiring them. And how to acquire them? Just we have gone ahead. The education was missing in the market. So we have used platform such as Quora,
Mm-hmm.
such as Reddit, such as
Okay.
Twitter, in order to make sure that we are going ahead, we are communicating with these people. That was
Mm-hmm.
first thing, how we have gone from maybe 10K to maybe 100K users. After that, we have understood that yes, we were listening to the customers. They were also suggesting us some features. Okay. And we were going ahead and interacting with them on various platforms such as Reddit, such as Quora, such as Twitter that I have already talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Given taking ideas from those, we were now able to understand that what is the nerve of the market, what is the song of the market, as in what market wants from us. Then we have
Right.
gone ahead, iterated on that particular feedback, and then we have opened other channels as well. We have gone ahead and optimized our app for the Play Store for the right keywords.
Mm-hmm.
We have made sure that the functionality of, so it was very difficult for you to go ahead to switch from a regular mutual fund to a direct mutual fund, for example. So
Mm-hmm.
like the market was definitely needing some kind of transparency. We were the first to bring it, and once we have brought it, then users have followed. So we have done is we have created enough channels so that we can listen to our customer feedback. We were
Mm-hmm.
iterating on that feedback very quickly, and we have opened multiple channels so that we can go ahead and give out like the finished product to the users. And that is how we have grown. About 60-70% of our grown when I was having like when I was in that company was
Mm-hmm.
from organic. Yeah, on the same kind of channels.
Awesome. So you tried these channels like Quora, Reddit, and like mostly I think people they go on LinkedIn directly. But I think how did you figure that out that your target audience is already on these channels, right? Especially people who has like net worth of 50 lakh. So was there any like how did
Yes.
you figure that out?
Yes. So initially it was 50 lakh rupees, but when like
Mm-hmm.
for, as I've told you, like for 50K, 100K, it was easier to find these kind of people because the margin that we are talking about, or like the audience that we are talking about, is like very small. But after that, what we have done is we were able to understand that yes, if we have to make sure that app is usable by more number of people, we have to reduce that particular kind of threshold. Okay, so we have came to 20-25 lakh as well, and then we have gone ahead and understood what are the kind of YouTube channels that the people are looking at, and
Mm-hmm.
what are the kind of channels that they follow, in terms of what are the spaces that they follow on Quora, what are the subreddits that they follow, what is popular out there, and we have taken content clues from there, and then we have created the content. And also, like, one of the major pillar of our growth has been Twitter. We have made sure that we are vocal on Twitter, and everyone who goes ahead and suggests something about the product, we are going to
Mm-hmm.
take their feedback, and we are going to actually, our product manager are actually going to go ahead and maybe talk to them. And our CEO was always like, he made sure that he's always at the top of all of the things that were happening on social media, so that we also have a clue about what is happening and how to take the product forward.
Right, right. So basically, like whenever we are building a new product from the scratch, so like you have to find platforms like Quora and Reddit or any platform where we can engage with our customers. So like once you start talking to them, so you can understand what kind of problems they're solving, what kind of problems they're having, and our job is to like give solutions to them. So that's how we grow our product. And I hope that makes sense, right? That's what you guys kind of do.
Yes. So, but I would tell you that
Mm-hmm.
it is not true that for everything you can go ahead and look at, like for any kind of product you can go into this community, because
Right, right.
there could be some kind of product where Quora is not going to work. Could be some kind of product where Reddit is not going to work. Okay, so for
Yeah,
example, when
yeah.
I was at Chiros, okay,
Mm-hmm.
this didn't work. Okay,
Okay.
so my main mental model, or my main concept to grow any kind of company is
Mm-hmm.
that first of all, understand the user, understand the channels where they are engaging. Once you have
Okay.
understood it, make sure how you can make sure that whatever they are talking about on that channel, you can go ahead and educate about them, how your product can help them in that particular kind of problem, or like going ahead and navigating into that particular kind of situation. If you can do this, that can be done. For IND Money, the people were on Quora, the people were on Reddit.
Mm.
While for Shiros, the people were a different kind of platform. So it was a mobile app only for women. So we have to go ahead and work with these offline communities, such as this Sathi community, Aganbadis, such as we have also gone ahead and done a partnership with Paytm in order to make sure that their women users are looking at our feed and they are also coming to a platform. So channel can differ, communication can differ, USP can differ, but you always have to start from the user. If you start from the user, the chances are very low that you are going to fail if you listen enough to them.
Right, right. So you find you find this your like customers by only experimenting, right? So you found out that the IND Money customers, they are on Reddit and Quora basically, and this another company's customers, they are not on Reddit and Quora, they are on other platform. So you find it by experimenting only, right? You just don't know
Yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
first of all, you have to articulate what could be the we call it like a ideal customer profiles, or sometime also known as user personas in
Mm-hmm.
product management. So first of all, start with that. Okay, you would have some kind of assumptions. Okay,
Okay.
then go ahead, talk to some kind of user. You are also going to get some kind of input. Don't talk about your solutions. Talk about what they want to do in your life, what their goals are. Then
Mm-hmm.
you'll be able to understand what are the platforms that they use. Okay, so for example, at InterviewBit, we have a platform where people can go ahead and they can learn about any kind of language, and also they can practice the questions. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so here we are going to go to the UI. We are going to find that what are the other resources that you follow. They have said that I was using XYZ resource. Then we are going to find them. Why do you use it? What
Mm-hmm.
was the reason why we have came to that platform? How do you use it? Okay, then from these questions, other kind of things are going to arrive, and they are going to automatically tell you where they are looking for the solution, like what is the platform where they are looking for advice and all.
Got it. So, what does a career in product management looks like? Like, suppose if I started as a product manager right now, like by enrolling to any courses like HelloPM, or what after 5 years of being a product manager, how does my journey and growth looks like in terms of my career and all?
Yeah. So right now, I would say like it depends from company to company, and also since like it's getting popular, like product management getting more and more popular, but
Mm.
teams do not have like a right career ladder, or I would say a known career ladder right now. Okay, because we
Okay.
see that people who have about 2 years of experience, they are also product managers.
Mm-hmm.
People who have 7 years of experience, they are also known as product managers. It actually depends on company, but if I have to simplify that answer, it would be like in an ideal company, it should be as follows. So first, you become a product analyst, or you become a APM, or you become a business analyst, APM for associate product manager.
Right.
From
Mm-hmm.
there, with maybe a 1 year of experience, couple of years experience, you go ahead and you become a product manager, where
Mm-hmm.
you work as an individual contributor, make sure that you are leading a particular part of feature. Then after that, you become a senior product manager, some more kind of responsibilities. How do you transition from product manager to senior product manager? That depends on like the performance cycle of the company and the thing that you have been working on. And even
Mm-hmm.
if you like go ahead and switch into companies as well, that can also happen quickly. Once you become a senior product manager, then you can become principal product manager, group product manager, and then eventually you can either become director of product management, or maybe vice president product, or maybe a CPO as well, which is chief product officer.
Got it.
So
So,
this is the career ladder. But having
mhm.
said that, like there is right now, we have seen that there is no kind of structure that is there in the industry right now, at least if you leave the like top 100 200 companies.
Got it. So, what makes someone excellent product managers? Like, there are what are the top 3 skills which make you a great product manager?
Okay. So I'll tell you. Actually, I would say like as every other answer, it actually depends on the person. It actually depends on the profile.
Mm-hmm.
It actually depends on the company. But if I
Okay.
have to simplify it for you, there are 3 things that absolutely every product manager needs to have.
Mm-hmm.
One is the collaboration skill. You should be
Okay.
able to go ahead and understand what it takes in order to collaborate with different kind of people.
Mm-hmm.
Second is the communication skill, which is also an extension of collaboration, because if you don't know how to communicate, you will not be able to
Yeah.
collaborate. And
Mm-hmm.
third is the problem solving skills, or the tendency to step back from the solutions, look at the problem in detail, and then going ahead and breaking down that problem into smaller parts, making solution of the each part, and then going ahead and combining the solution. That is also known as pragmatic thinking. So collaboration, communication, and pragmatic thinking, this is like the foundation. Other things you can build based on it, which is like, it also transforms into leadership, it also transforms into problem solving. There could be other kind of things you can also develop on them, but the basics remain the same.
Yeah. So I think you mentioned problem solving before as well. Like, so how do you build a product mindset? So when, when it comes to building a product mindset, like, does the problem solving skill comes on the top? Is it like a foundation?
So I would say product. So I would say, like, actually it's not product solving skills. It is actually empathy. And what I mean by empathy is that, can you think for the user? Okay. What happens is that, first of all, you have to, I would say, like, product management should be renamed as user management, because you should first think from the user side. Right. Okay. Before asking about what you are building, how you are building it, how is it going to work, how you are going to create it, you should first ask who you are building it for. How is it going to help them? Is it even needed or not? Right. Then you go ahead and take other kind of step. And product thinking is nothing. You just start from the user. First, you start from the user, then you understand their problems. Once you have understood this problem, you have to understand what are the problems which are important for them, which are the problems which are not important for them. Then you go ahead and try to build out like multiple solutions for the problem that we have talked about. Then you prioritize these kind of solutions. And then you go ahead and understand, if you have created a solution, how you're going to measure whether it is successful or not. So this is overall like a gist of what product thinking is. Just start from the user, then you are already on a path of good product thinking mindset.
Yeah. So I feel like product management is more like a experimentation. Like, you have to experiment and then find out if it's working or not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I would say, like, it's easier to say this way, as in like product management more about experimentation, because if you are only doing experimentation and if you are not aware about the time or the resources that is going to take, then it is not going to reflect very much good on you as a product manager or your product. Because if you know that, if for example, Microsoft is a company, if they are experimenting so much with their product that so many people who are using it, they are facing these kind of things. So that doesn't happen. In theory, it looks good, like you are experimenting and you are growing. But you have to be very pragmatic, which is like the third thing that I have mentioned about initially. Right. Okay, you should know why you are doing that experiment. How is it going to, how you can reduce the risk on that experiment. If you are able to do it, if you are able to take data-backed decisions, if you are able to collaborate with people and take multiple opinions at once, and maybe know how to go through and make sure that you are able to ship it quicker, then that is product management. Problem solving is, yes, it's a skill. Experimentation is a skill. It is needed. You have to do a lot of experimentation, but it is not true that you always have to do experimentation. You should be like, your idea should not be half-baked. You should go ahead, do some kind of research. That is your job as a product manager.
So, like, till the time we find the right product market fit, I think at that time you can kind of stop maybe experimenting on that thing, and then you can once you find something, this is happening, so you can keep doing it basically.
Yeah, I think that will also be like, it would be bad to generalize it, because what happens is that some of the time people are not getting product market fit because they are experimenting too much. So for example, I have gone ahead, I have created this particular kind of product. Okay, this is for this particular kind of user. So rather than making sure that it is solving a problem, I'm just iterating on the features, I'm just iterating on the colors or the UI or something. What you are experimenting about is very much essential. Okay, you have to experiment about whether this problem is right or not, whether people are facing that problem or not. You can iterate on the solution, but you have to first make sure that the problem is there. If you are solving a problem that does not exist or that is not important for the user, no matter how many experiments you do in the solution, it is not going to work out. First, make sure that the product is good. Okay. And even after you get the product market fit, you have to understand what are the kind of experiments that you are doing. What is important for your company at that period of time. So product mindset is something that is going to help you out. Experimentation is just a tool.
Got it.
You cannot justify your failures or wastage of resources just because you can tell that, yes, this is an experiment that we have done. What if this has failed? So real product managers, they don't do it.
Got it. Makes sense. Yeah. So what kind of challenges do you face as a product manager on day-to-day basis, and how do you overcome them?
Yeah. So I think there are a lot of them, and most of them arise from the cross communication and the cross collaboration that happens within the team. Okay. So the major challenge is going ahead and making sure that everyone is on the same page. Okay. And if as a product manager, you are able to do this nicely, then I would say half of your work is done. Half of your work is to make sure that you are going ahead and solving the right kind of problem in the right kind of way. Okay. So collaborating with people, making sure that everyone is on the same page. When your team is so bigger, it is definitely a challenge to see in a product manager. Second thing is you have to be good at people management, which is also an extension of collaboration. If you are bad at people management, if you don't know how to operate across people, how to navigate the situation, that is going to be challenging for you. And third could be, I think, like changing responsibilities, because when you are working in any kind of digital product, your priorities are going to be, you are going to get changed. Okay. And since as a product manager, you are a very pragmatic person, you would always want to have a clear roadmap. As in, this is the roadmap. I'm going to do it for 6 months. But then practically, it is not going to happen. Although you might have spent 1 month in order to just create that roadmap, but reality would be a bit different. So you should be accommodating as well. So you should be flexible and you should be very good with collaboration. These are the these are strengths of a product manager, but if not done well, this can also become like a challenges very, very quick.
Right. So you have been in touch with a lot of product managers by working with multiple companies and also to HelloPM, right? So what are the things that most of the product managers are doing wrong, which you have observed? Is there anything like that?
Yeah, I think the one obvious thing that we find in very beginner level product manager is that they jump to the solutions. Okay, so whenever they think that yes, they have to do something, they will go ahead and they'll try to create a solution. They'll try to create wireframe. They'll try to do some kind of experimentation and all. That is not what you have to do. You have to first make sure that there is an evidence that this problem exists. Though your problem is going to remain the same, your solutions can differ. Okay, so make sure that whether you need to learn to understand how to take a back step, how to go ahead and make sure that you are solving the right kind of problem. So jumping to solution is one of the problems that I have observed across early PMs. And for the senior PMs, I have seen that since senior PM, most of the time what happens is that they are moving from some or the other kind of role into product management. Okay, as in they are moving from a development role or from a sales role or from a marketing role, other kind of roles. What they do is, what they forget is that now they have to leave that job aside and they have to do a work of a product manager. So if you are moving from a technical role to a product management role, you are not supposed to code. You don't have to give your opinion every time to the engineering manager just because you know how to code. Your work is something else. I'm not saying that it is going to harm you, but it is going to shift your focus. Your focus should be on the user. Your focus should be on the business. And the third thing that I see, like that mistake, like I also make most of the times, and that is, I would say, like with some pragmatism and self-awareness, I would be able to like cater to it. That is, we think that as product managers, our responsibility is to ship features. That is completely wrong. Our responsibility is to ship outcomes for our customers and our users. Once that mindset is changed, then you will see that you are going ahead and your team dynamics and everything that you do will change and it will be more impactful. So shift your focus from just being a feature factory to an outcome factory. Make sure that you are delivering outcomes to your users. And for that, you have to build feature, or maybe you have to sometimes not build features also.
Got it. Makes sense. So especially I think when people jump to directly solutions, this could apply to like entrepreneurs, and I think that this kind of thing we can it could apply to our life as well. Like maybe if you're going through some personal problems and you directly jump onto solutions, or as an entrepreneur you directly jump onto solutions, I think that could help in
as well. So actually what happens is that whatever bad habits we have, or whatever good habits we have, they are because of the evolution. Okay, so your personal habits are reflected on your work. So in our personal habit, whenever like someone is hitting us, in our personal life someone is hitting us, or someone is getting offensive at us, our main like response to it is to get defensive, or maybe fight or flight response. Okay, we are just copying same kind of things that have been given us because of evolution to product management as well, and that does not work out. So you have to maybe learn to take a step backward and then observe the situation, and then make sure that whatever you are doing, it is going to impact so many lives, because you are the product manager. You literally own the product, and whatever people are using the product, they are going to get affected, and your resource could also be wasted.
That makes sense. So how does like it's been 2 years since the pandemic started. So how are you working like remotely? How does product team works remotely, basically, and how was your experience basically, like you were when you were working from home, and like when you're working from office, and how is it like when you're working from home?
Yeah, so I think it has been easier for me, at least because of the kind of people that I have been working with. Okay, so remote or non-remote, it actually depends on the kind of composition that you have rather than the work role that you are doing. Okay.
Okay.
So for example, my engagement at IND Money is with people who are marketers, is with people who are developers, is with my users. Okay. Can I connect with them offline? Can I connect with them online? Can I connect with them on Zoom? Definitely, yes, I can. So that was easier for me. And also we have created some process to make sure that people are not burning out, because there is like there is no cutoff time. As in, when you are in office, you have to join the office at 11. That is when you come, and you can turn off your computer at maybe 7 or 8. That is possible. But in these kind of scenarios and in online, that is not possible. So as company, we have to take conscious decisions. As leaders, product leaders, we have to take conscious decision that we are giving enough room to our people. They have to acknowledge and understand that they have a personal life as well now, which is mingled with their professional life. So if we are acknowledging that, I think it should be easier. People want to work from home. Like it doesn't matter like what people say on LinkedIn, whether they want to return office or not. But deep down, we know that some or the other part of us wants to remain at home and maybe enjoy the lifestyle that we are already doing, and maybe save a bit of money in traveling as well.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. So when it comes to product leadership, like how to become a better product leaders? Like how do you manage your team in a better way? And especially like I have observed that like product management is a tough task. It's not an easy job basically, right? So there could be in some companies there could be a toxic culture and all kind of stuff. So how do you build a good culture as well? How do you become a better product leader?
Yeah, I would say this leadership skill, like it is true for engineering leaders as well, product leaders as well, and it is true for other kind of generic leaders as well. Okay. So first of all, as a product leader, you have to understand that your responsibility is now first of all, when you are an individual contributor, your responsibility was an outcome or a KPI, right? Or maybe a kind of product improvement that you have to do. But now your main KPI is to make sure that your people are getting successful as possible. Now it is your responsibility. If you think from that angle, then things are going to be easier for you. As a product leader, I would say that if you know that there are direct reports to you, make sure that you are articulating your ones really nicely. They should know what they are supposed to do. They should know like what their career graph is going to look like. People don't want to work in a company where they don't see growth. So if you have laid down a growth plan for them, that is very good. And generally go ahead and empathize with people. People want to go ahead. Since we are social animal, we want to connect. We want to talk about things that are not related to work as well. So whenever you start the call, you should make sure that you are doing some kind of talk so as to make them feel at home, and these kind of things I would say. But just make sure that you are detaching yourself from the job that you have been doing in the past, and making sure that leadership skill is itself. It is not making sure that your business is achieving outcomes or users are getting what they want, but it is more about making sure that your people are happy, because when people are happy, they are going to do the best work of their lives.
Right. Makes sense.
So,
would you recommend any top 3 books on product managers? Suppose someone who wants to get into product management. So, what kind of books they should read?
Right. So in terms of book, I would say like I'm not much into books. Okay, I have read books. I've read books, but I'm not much into books. So I generally don't recommend books. But some that I have read, I can maybe recommend. So these are not directly related to product management, but they can definitely help you create a better thinking mindset, and that is all product management is all about. So first book I would recommend is, I think, Thinking Fast and Slow, which is about how do you think about certain kind of situations in your life, and how do you make sure that when what are the decisions that you should take quickly, what are the decisions where you should take a step back. That is going to help you out in product management. Second is, I think it is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So it lays down 7 habits which are like very important. It is going to help you in your personal life also. And third is, I would say, Principles. Okay, so Principles is like this thick book which has been written by Ray Dalio, which talks about how do you understand from your past experiences, how do you create like a good environment within your company, so that it is based on meritocracy rather than people being favorites of each other. So that is also going to help you create a very good culture which is based on meritocracy, and help you like understand that whenever you are in difficult situation, how to think about them. So it can help you in system thinking as well.
Right. So are there any tools or resources which you could recommend for a product manager?
Yeah. So I would say for product manager, first of all, you should start with first principles. Understand what first principles are. If you have understood what first principles are, if you start practicing in your daily life, not only with product management, but in your general life also, you are going to become a better individual. And then definitely you are going to go ahead and become a better product manager also. So at HelloPM blog, we have a very good guide on first principles for product managers. You can start from there. Apart from this, there are so many resources out there. Okay, so if you search for awesome product management on GitHub, you are going to find a list of resources. Like it is a GitHub link where you are going to find so many resources which could be helpful for you as a product manager. Apart from this, make sure that you follow the product management subreddit on Reddit. That is going to help you a lot as well. People come here and they discuss like every kind of thing out there. Apart from this, there are so many YouTube channels that you can search for, but make sure that you are not like containing so much junk into your mind. Implement things also. Not only the knowledge not going to have that. Product management is about doing things. It is about understanding the situations and solving problems.
So how can our listeners enroll for HelloPM if they want to?
Yeah, so you can definitely go ahead and go to hellopm.co, and there is an application form. You can fill it. We make sure that we are screening each and every candidate, because we want to make sure that since we only take around 30-35 people in a candidate, we want to make sure that we are taking people who can get the best advantage, and they also have a fit with our company. So we are going to do a screening call. In that screening call, they can make sure that, so once they apply, they are going to get an invitation for the screening call. In that screening call, we are going to make sure that this course can definitely help them out. And only if that helps them out, we are going to recommend the course to them, and we are going to take it ahead. And the course is like very one-on-one, very live driven, so that we make sure that no matter what kind of background you are coming from, we'll make sure that you are going out as a better product manager, at least with product thinking.
Awesome. Amazing. So thank you so much, Ankit. It was really great talking to you. I think we got a lot of insights on how to become a product manager in the short amount of time. I think this is anyone who wants to become a product manager, this is the good resource to start with, and they can of course get in touch with you or HelloPM to get to know more about it. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Pushpak. Thanks a lot for having me.